Today on DMG, I interview Tobyn Buxton about a brand new product from Rocky Mountain Train Supply, and Michael Maline about the Pike Masters Free-mo group. All this and more from the 2025 Colorado RPM meet. All right, so I'm here with Tobyn Buxton of Rocky Mountain Train Supply, and they've got a new product that's in the works. These are Free-moN modules. So Tobyn, why don't you tell us about what these modules are as far as their construction, that kind of stuff.
All right, first up, these are all very early prototype samples, but they are 3/4 inch birch as per standard, and the first 4 inches of every module straight. These supports are 1/2 inch birch with 1/8 inch luan to tie everything together and make it flow as Free-mo should. These are early prototypes, so they're not perfect, but on the production versions, everything will lock in. So this will lock into center, and then the road bed here that's 3D printed so it doesn't wear down like if you use cork will, that will lock into center as well. So everything is nice, level, straight, centered for good reliability. Everything will also be available a la carte, so you'll be able to just buy end plates or just buy spine, whatever you want. The goal of these is to make getting into Free-mo both more reliable and easier. If you live in an apartment or you don't have access to a bunch of tools, it should make it very simple. We're going to be offering these as flat pack kits. All you're going to need is a Phillips head screwdriver and some wood glue, and that's it.
So basically you'll be able to build a train layout kind of like it came from IKEA.
Exactly. That's the general idea. Flat pack, just like furniture. We'll provide all the screws, everything. Again, you'll be able to buy everything individually if you so wish, depending on your level of expertise or knowledge or what you have to work with. So if you live in a small apartment, you can put this together on your kitchen table and not cause too much of a mess. All the holes will be pre-drilled. Yeah, it should be fairly simple. One person can put this together in under an hour without any clamps. And that's for the curved ones. They're very light.
Yeah, that's weighing what, about 5 pounds?
Yeah, this guy weighs, I think it's 5.5 pounds for this curve. We also have a prototype in the show that is a 2 foot by 1 foot with the legs and scenery. That guy weighs 4.5 pounds.
Wow. And I gotta say, I think my favorite features would be, besides that 3D printed end cap there, I don't know what you call that thing.
We're still coming up with a name. Right now we're calling it a hard adjoining road bed.
Okay.
That's so that it doesn't, the reason you want this is so that it doesn't wear down, but we also put these bumps in so that when you're going to solder down your PC ties, everything will line up. You won't have to worry about centering everything.
Sure.
And we're going to also be offering pre-soldered versions of that. So if you don't have a soldering iron, you don't need to worry.
Very nice. And then my other favorite feature, I think, is going to be the road bed itself. So this would be an HO scale example, or is this a double
This
N?
is a double track N scale example.
Okay.
And this just slots into a dado on an end plate. In the future, the middle 4 inches are actually going to be slightly recessed more.
Okay.
So that way it'll lock in.
Right, and then
you'll still have a dado across the entire width, so you can put whatever you want up there. If you want full width plywood, that'll work.
Very good. Yeah, because that keeps that from warping. I'm going to assume, too, you'll have probably different shapes if you needed to have like a yard ladder.
If you can draw it, we can build it.
Okay.
This is all CNC routed, so...
Very nice. And now it's still early, so I understand if you don't have an exact date or anything, but you guys have an idea as to when you'll be bringing it out?
We're hoping to have the first kits ready for Christmas.
Okay.
Again, no date, no hard date. We put together the first kits this week, so...
All right, well, thank you very much, Tobyn, and I'm going to definitely put in the link to your website.
Yeah, nscalesupply.com. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
is amazing. I mean, they tried to run operations Friday night and Saturday night, and I don't know how successful they were.
All right, so I'm here with Michael Maline with Pikemasters. You guys are a Free-mo group based out of where?
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Colorado Springs.
We've actually been free-mowing for about 3 to 4 years now. We were a permanent layout at the basement of the Colorado Springs Event Center, the old pistol range for the police department. We were told about 4 years ago that we had 6 months to vacate. So what are we going to do? Well, we looked at various options and we decided to become a Free-mo group. And so we started building modules, and boy, we were green. We were wet behind the ears when it comes to Free-mo. We've been able to pick up a few seasoned members. We've been doing Free-mo for about 20, 25 years, and they've guided us tremendously. Today we're up here in Greeley at the Colorado RPM. They asked us to come. Michelle, the organizer of it, we asked her how much space could we have because Free-mo eats up a lot of space. She says, as much as you want. It was like, okay. So we asked for a space of 100 feet by 60 feet, and we got it. 6,000 square feet.
Yeah, and we're not even using up half the convention hall either.
No. But like I said, Free-mo eats up a lot of space because one of the beauties of Free-mo is that every layout setup is different. It's designed differently. It's basically how I almost call a point-to-point railroad. We have loops, a loop at each end. There's a loop, and we're approaching the loop now. Those generally belong to a club, the club itself, and then each individual members will design and build modules to a certain Free-mo standard so that we can set up with other groups, areas. For instance, 2 weekends ago, we were at Evanston, Wyoming, and we set up with Free-mo people from California, Utah, Colorado, and I want to say Wyoming, and everything fit. Now, naturally, with any layout, there's always gremlins, generally with the local net, and they're always biting at your ankles, and you're having to constantly beat them back down, solve the issues, and we do. And I've always said that this layout will be running perfectly at 3 p.m. On the last day of the show. All problems will be solved. And I'm going to the left. Okay. You can run any type of period equipment that you want, as in this case, we got the Denver and Rio Grande Bumblebee locomotive with only half an elk horn. The other half broke off when the elk got hit by the locomotive. And the engineer was enterprising, and he grabbed it. Thank you. Nope, I'm gonna pull it.
Well, that's one of those situations where you're gonna have little gremlins here and there.
Oh yeah. And
I'll just put that on the inside for you.
okay, thank you. Let's see. The size of this layout this time is approximately 290 linear feet. That includes the entire loop, both loops, and linear distance. Single track main line is what we do. And we have 7 sidings. So theoretically, we should be able to run approximately 8 trains at any one time.
And I think you got about 3 or so out on the line right now, including
Okay.
yours.
You have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to what's in front of you and what's behind you. Coordination is the key. just like I wasn't paying attention there.
Well, but you got a fail-safe built in.
Oh! Come on, come on. Having another gremlin with the switch. There we go. But coordination is the key. You need to coordinate with the train in front of you, behind you, and the train that is coming at you. Because with single main line, you don't want to have a cornfield meet between two trains, you know.
Right.
That's bad for business. And we've gotten pretty good at that. Initially, we weren't so good, but we're learning and having fun. That's the key, having fun.
So how did the transition go from a home-based club to a Free-mo club?
Challenging. We started building modules to what we thought were the standards, and we learned they weren't quite there, but we improved. As I said, we had additional members who showed up who've been doing this for years, and they guided us. They guided us in it, like this gentleman right here, Mr. Dave Dane. He got us pointed in the right direction. So here we go. And matter of fact, this is his module, the Coors distribution facility. But each member builds their own modules. You could build 1 or 15. It all depends upon how industrious you are and what you can transport. That's key, what you can transport. If you have a little, Yugo car, you can only transport one 2x4 module, that's what you do. If you have a trailer, you can carry many more. As for ages for this, our members age anywhere from college students to retired individuals with lots of gray hair.
Oh, you're not looking so bad.
Sometimes I feel like it. Setup, we set this thing up, today is Sunday, we set it up on Friday. We started at approximately 8 o'clock in the morning, and we had trains running by 5 p.m. It takes a while. You have to stand the modules up, you have to bolt them together, you have to make sure all the connections are together for DCC main bus, AC power main bus, MSS, which is the signal systems, the LocoNet, and then make sure everything works. A challenge. A challenge. Where am I at? Okay, you got me aligned?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, here's the situation where 2 trains are meeting, coordinated. Here's the operator of the other train, coordinating with Zach here.
Right out of the way.
He pulled off onto the siding, I'm taking the main line. One thing I've learned also, always check switches. Always check switches. Because the one time you don't, you're in trouble. My word, what in the world?
That's quite the consist there.
Yes, we intermix different eras. The 1890s, there's present day with whatever load that is, it's pretty big.
And last question for you.
Yes,
so
sir.
how can people get in touch with the club or check out what shows they're going to be going to?
Okay. We do have a flyer. You can get in contact with me or one of the other officers, or actually any member. Of course, how do you do that? Email address, or go online. We do have a website. Pikemasters.org, I believe is it. And there we have information about where we're going to be at. Several members will be going to Garden City, Kansas here in March. And then the club together will go to the TCA show in Denver in early April. We've already got plans to be here again next year, at the 3rd weekend in October. Gosh, what else? Evanston, Wyoming, we'll be at. Individual members again. That's next September. So I guess we go to about 3 to 4 to 5 shows a year. There's a lot of work to set up and tear down. Any other questions?
I think that's going to do it for us, Michael. Well, thank you very much for the interview and taking the time and multitasking through your route. I know that's not easy, so.
I only picked 2 switches, that's it.
Yeah, well, that's not so bad. It's a good demonstration, I think, though, to all the people so they can see. It's like, nah, it's not always perfect. You just got to roll with the punches on these things. So.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
All right, well, once again, thank you, Michael.
Certainly. Thank you very much.
good person?
So, I mean, there's a lot of good parts. So, Mike Nelson sitting down there closer to us in the blue. He's a veteran. David Dames, all the desert stuff in the corner is his. He's a really good welder. Also, this guy in the blue. Mike Maline, there's lots of good options.
To learn more about the Free-mo modular standard, please visit freemo.org. Pikemasters runs a Facebook page which keeps followers up to date on club developments. Also, don't forget to check out Rocky Mountain Train Supply in Arvada, Colorado, or check out their website in the description. They also run nscalesupply.com. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Dakota Modelers Group is growing, and we recently reached 250 subscribers. Thank you all so much for your support, and until next time, highball!